Hello everyone, my name's Sophie and I'm here to present a paper written by myself and Colin Booth titled Bagging, Barging, Begets Amnesia, Insights of Integrating Responsible Sourcing into Building Information Modelling. The construction industry is a lively and vibrant part of the UK's economy. It currently accounts for around 7% of the UK's GDP and is under pressure because of the increased environmental awareness over the planet's limits. This means that the AEC sector has gathered more accountability than ever before. Construction has obvious impacts on the environment, including material production, pollution, the alteration of landscapes, and the high levels of manufacturing and waste. This means that the industry has had to change its way of working and reflect on its footprint and accountability. The evolution of corporate social responsibility has enabled organisations to make smarter decisions which reflect the needs of the market and its stakeholders. One solution which has emerged is responsible sourcing. Now, this is by no means a new idea, but it allows organisations to align themselves with ethically sound and certified products, which if used correctly can increase stakeholder confidence. The other is, of course, building information modelling. BIM has also established itself as a key tool to aid project management. It encourages collective collaboration from a project's inception through to its operation. So what is responsible sourcing within the context of this research? We undertook a review of RS literature with a particular focus on BES 6001, and we found that the reasoning for products ranged from growing stakeholder pressures to rising demand for accurate information on products and materials. BES 6001 specifically allows manufacturers to demonstrate the quality of their products against the three key areas of sustainability: social values, economic and environmental. Building information modelling literature was also reviewed. BIM enables a collaborative working environment throughout a building's life cycle, and it refers to both a process and software. Consultants use softwares to produce coordinated and accurate design information, which enables the specification of products. Research indicates that BIM also enables sustainable construction through minimising waste, clash detection, reducing challenges in buildability, accurate energy modelling, and many more examples which all reduce a product's overall carbon footprint. In terms of our research methodology, we identified 4 key steps. There's a plethora of literature which investigates the benefits and barriers of RS and BIM individually, but we believe our research is one of the first to look at RS and BIM as a collective. An objectivity-based methodology was utilised for this study, and we adopted a quantitative cross-sectional questionnaire survey as the method of inquiry. The statements were developed through the literature review, and this will also be reused within the results and discussion of the research. The data was analysed using Excel and measured using weighted average scores. As the responses were quite varied, we also used beneficial index values which helped determine the final rankings. I'll now move on to the statements which were put together, and they come in the form of benefits and then barriers. When seeking out potential benefits of RS and BIM, the literature had various key themes throughout. This helped produce the 9 benefit factors shown on the screen. These included drivers for progression, competitive advantage, collaboration, changes to existing systems, upskilling and training, minimum compliance, accountability, sustainable and ethical decisions, and value for stakeholders. The barriers were also constructed in the same way. The literature showed 8 various themes throughout, which included lack of education and awareness, upskilling and training, existing softwares, intellectual property and creativity issues, competition, expanding clientele, cost, and availability. So after the analysis, the final ranking of benefit statements is shown on the screen. The top benefit for RS and BIM implementation was competitive advantage. The AEC sector remains a multifaceted and complex market which is constantly under scrutiny. Organisations therefore strive to be the best and require resilience and flexibility in order to succeed. Other research into RS and BIM includes reviews of case studies which support this research in terms of the reduced design lead times and errors, which in turn produce competitive advantage. If a company can deliver a quality output within a quicker programme, they're more likely to win work than their traditional counterparts. Organisations also now strive to be viewed as positive societal influencers. A firm's reputation is improved through tangible action, and this research highlights that using RS and BIM seems to generate this. Academics also note this, in that an organisation which desires competitive advantage makes more responsible decisions. In terms of the barriers, unsurprisingly, the top barrier identified by our respondents was cost. It is undisputed that the persistent reduction of cost is directly related to a business's feasibility. This has typically been a barrier in terms of sustainable investments. The assumption is that RS and BIM cost more upfront. In a sector where there is notable pressures on budgets and a constant economic uncertainty, it is unsurprising that cost remains a key issue. In terms of RS and BIM, costs are assumed to be higher by the respondents, with products and designs taking longer and therefore costing more. The implementation of both RS and BIM relies on a strong business case and management throughout the supply chain, and capital cost often falls on the client. In an environment where time is money, this extra cost cannot always be absorbed. There is also the issue of associated cost. Not only is there the perception that products cost more, businesses also have to contend with retraining, new software licenses, and the constant review of it. This study shows that the perception of RS and BIM remains the same. They cost too much. As this research is what we believe one of the first to look at the integration of responsible sourcing into building information modelling, we therefore make the following recommendations. We acknowledge that there is a gap in BIM software in terms of product information. Through using libraries of materials which indicate the sourcing of a product, we can create an environment where RS materials are the easy option. Another method would be legislation. Rather than relying on a client and organisation's ethical aspirations, responsible sourcing could be made mandatory on all construction products that require the use of BIM. This would include any public sector jobs, healthcare, education, many more. The last recommendation is that there is a need for an increase or continuation of investigation into the organisational barriers of RS and BIM. This would allow for a framework to be generated to pinpoint the key areas for improvement. So that's it. Thank you very much for listening. Colin and I are more than happy for anyone with questions or queries to email us. Other than that, thank you very much.